What's up everyone, my name is Javi from Everyday Japan Club, and today I'm going to share with you guys my experience in learning Japanese before I came to Japan and how it translated once I got here, as well as what methods I use now that I find to be the most effective, and stick to the end where I'll tell you exactly what those are so you can catch up as well. Oi, oi. Now to start, if you're anything like me, you have a fascination for Japan, Japanese culture, as well as the Japanese language. And therefore, when you decided to make that move to Japan, you decided, you know what? I'm gonna pick up one of these books, I'm gonna study, and I'm really gonna get down to brass tacks in here. From there, you spend months, years even, learning Japanese, whether you're using a textbook or if you're going online or even using an app. You try everything in your power to really understand what the language encompasses, the grammar, the hiragana, katakana, as well as kanji, to try to really be prepared for that trip whenever it comes. But if you're anything like me, it doesn't translate so easily. I found myself that even with all that studying that I did, I still couldn't pick up on things like subtitles when watching an anime, or other things like road signs if you just happen to come across any and you're trying to read it and it's in Japanese and you're just like, still don't understand. This is where I decided to elevate myself and decided that, you know what? I'm gonna take some classes. So in 2 different colleges, I took 2 different Japanese classes to try to really get myself where I needed to be when it comes to actually understanding Japanese. The idea was, you know, if you just learn Japanese, then you will understand everything when you go to Japan. And, you know, that's the most logical explanation, right? But I came to Japan and I have been here for 3+ years now. And I can tell you with confidence, everything that I've learned in textbooks, apps, out the window. The truth is, like in video games, when everything comes to the front, sometimes people like me become button mashers and you're just like, click, 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 click. I don't know what I'm doing. The pressure's too much, right? The same thing happens when it comes to speaking, reading, and writing Japanese. I found myself plenty of times where I would probably know the word, phrase, or meaning of something, but just in the moment, I just freeze and I can't think because it's too much. I have to process everything that I've learned, and I just wasn't able to go ahead and push through it to be able to deliver the correct answer or understanding of what it is that was being presented. I found myself incredibly frustrated because I was thinking to myself, what do I have to do? I've studied so much and I still just can't seem to get it down. I'm in Japan and I'm still trying to use translating apps or speaking in English from comfort. And maybe I should have tried a little harder to try to just, wait, I got this. Give me a moment. Japanese. But I just freeze. Like a button masher, I just don't have time to process. I'm afraid the anxiety builds up and I gotta go. And that's when I realized maybe everything I've tried so far just isn't working. Now, because I came here married to my Japanese wife, I live with her and my Japanese daughter, and they speak Japanese every single day. And at first, when they spoke, everything sounded like sound to me. I didn't know anything that they were saying. They were being very code language-y to me, because I would just be sitting here and they were like, and I'm just like, However, as time started to pass, I started to pick up on specific sounds, and random gibberish started to become actual words. And I was like, wait a minute, can you repeat that one more time? For example, my wife would be like, Javi, iko? And I would be like, one moment, iko, what does that mean? And she would say, oh, it means let's go. And I would be like, that does mean let's go, because I would say let's go at this part, but I would just English say let's go, but you say iko. So I started to kind of put 2 and 2 together, and now I know iko means let's go. This is where it clicked. This was the moment I realized I might have been learning Japanese the wrong way this whole time. I personally am a visual learner and a practical application learner. And so all that textbook stuff just didn't work for me. This was huge because My wife, being Japanese, could speak Japanese every day, therefore apply practical application that I can actually use. So what I decided to do, like any smart person would, is pay more attention to words that I would hear repeated throughout the day in daily conversation. Soon enough, I would start to pick up on different sounds, different words that I wanted to verify, clarify, to make sure that they were what I thought they were. From this, I started to develop a list of vocabulary words that I could actually use on an everyday basis. What I would do is I would just keep hearing so many different words and sounds, and then I would select one. And then I would be like, I hear that every day. I hear that every day. I'm gonna ask her about that. Yep, there it is again. There it is again. How does she use it? Where does she use it? How is it sounding? The inflation in the tone of when she raises it, when she lowers it, does that mean what I think it means? And then I would verify with her, and she would say, that's right. And I would be like, ha 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 ha. Or she would be like, what are you talking about? And I would be like, haha, I don't know, but can you explain? From this, I started to get more words and more words and more words. And soon enough, all that random noise I would hear in conversation started to become sentences that I can understand and I could pick up. And that was huge for me because for the first time in Japan, after all this studying, I can understand people. And sure, I can understand some hiragana, some katakana, and some kanji because of all the studying I've done and how to grammatically put them. But just I've never needed to use that in terms of speaking, which I find to be the #1 form of communication here in Japan. And what that did in return is allowed me to really grasp that, maybe I went all about this the wrong way when it comes to learning, and what I should have focused on was speaking. And now that is my primary source of focus for learning. Now, if you are learning through textbooks, schools, apps, whatever it is that you're doing, don't stop. I'm sure it's very useful. You're learning from it. I'm very glad that I learned the things that I learned through the things I practiced before coming to Japan. However, if you really do want to come and communicate with people, I highly encourage you to focus on speaking, learning words you will use every day. And the problem I came across for that is that the words that I use every day weren't something you really learned in textbooks, because textbooks like to focus on proper grammar and honorifics. Textbooks love honorifics, whether it's the formal ones, informal ones, it always sticks to those. And yes, you want to learn those. However, that is not everything you will use here in Japan every day. Personally, I almost never use honorifics unless, of course, I'm at work or meeting new people. But on an everyday life, that's not what I find myself doing. I'm sticking to the same routine, speaking to the same people, and working with the same people. So I find myself relying more on your average everyday conversation that uses a lot more slang than using what you would consider to be the actual Japanese here in Japan. From that, I developed the fantastic idea of, you know what, why don't I make some YouTube videos about this? I know enough of the daily words that you need to communicate with people on a daily basis and sound natural, because literally everyone around me uses it, and I can apply that because people around me that are practicing Japanese, like I was doing, are mainly learning the formal way, which is nice, but not the practical way which you use every day. And that's what I'm doing now. And so I figured maybe these people who are trying to learn Japanese but want to sound natural aren't really finding the resources they need to sound natural. And so I was like, you know what? I got it. I can make some YouTube videos, I can make some YouTube shorts and answer those questions for these people. And that is exactly what I did. So if you happen to go on my YouTube, scroll through the shorts side, go through the list of 40 or 50 words I have put on there, you'll be able to find exactly what you're looking for on a daily basis. I promise you these are words you will use all the time. Now, I am continuously adding. I'm adding some, like maybe around 3 a week or so, just because I want to be able to do these long form videos as well, and they take a little bit longer to do, so I kind of want to split my energy into between the two of those. But I do still post those. I am trying to post them all the time. So, and if you have any words I haven't posted yet but you're curious about, please write it in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to address it so that we can go ahead and get that done for you too. Speaking of, if you like this kind of content, I am starting to make long form videos as well, talking about the practical experiences of Japan compared to what you would imagine them to be outside of Japan. Personally, I had all these grandeur visions in my head what Japan was going to be like before I got here, and then I got here and they were better. Or maybe not, right? So this is the kind of information I thought I'd share with you guys because it's the practical side of Japan, and that's exactly what this channel is all about. Everyday Japan Club, basically for all the people that love Japan but want to know what every day is like. That's the purpose of this. So if you like that kind of content and you're interested in what real Japanese life like is, please like, follow, subscribe, all that jazz so that we can go ahead and get some more information out to you guys. I really do appreciate you guys sticking through this video so long. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next one. See ya.